Well, thank you for watching our podcast again this week. This is probably the last we'll do this year. Congress is about to adjourn, and even though it's very close to Christmas, I think it's been a productive period and a productive so-called lame duck session. In this lame duck session, we have, just in the last few days, in fact, we've been able to complete action on the repeal of the don't ask, don't tell policy in the military. That's an important step forward. This is a policy that was put in place 17 years ago, and it's one that needed to be repealed. The vote was a good, strong vote in favor of repeal. It was 65 in favor of repeal and just 31 in favor of keeping that policy in place. So that was real progress. We also are finishing the START treaty. This is an important treaty between ourselves and Russia to further reduce nuclear weapons and also to ensure that we have adequate verification on the ground, ability to verify that the Russians are in fact doing what they say they're doing with regard to their nuclear weapons. They of course have that same on the ground verification capability with regard to our weapons. I think this is very important that this treaty be completed, and I commend the majority leader for keeping the Senate here right up until Christmas to get this accomplished. So that's very positive. We also have to, of course, complete the action on the funding bill for as much of the next fiscal year as we can. We tried to pass a bill to take us through the entire fiscal year. We were unable to do that. We did not have the votes. We will be adopting a shorter term funding bill, so-called continuing resolution, which will take us into February of this next year, and that will give us time in the new Congress to determine what we want to do on funding. Let me just mention a few of the things we accomplished in this Congress overall, in the two-year Congress. I think it was a productive two-year Congress. We started the Congress and passed a very large package of public land bills. That was an important thing to do. Some of those help protect areas in New Mexico that are important, but also all parts of the country, several thousand acres of additional wilderness area were set aside in our state. Nationally, a couple of million acres were set aside in wilderness. So a great deal was accomplished there. We passed the Recovery Act, which I think has had a big part in helping to revive our economy, get us going again, and get the economy going again. There's still a great distance to go, we understand. We passed a very major health care reform bill, which will benefit New Mexico tremendously once it's implemented. It's beginning to benefit us already in strengthening our health care delivery system. We passed a major bill to reform the regulation of Wall Street. This also was very important legislation and was much needed in light of all the problems that came to our attention with the recent recession. So all of that was very positive. Recently, here toward the end of this session, we also were able to pass legislation settling some long-standing Indian water rights litigation in the state of New Mexico, the Amont case in Santa Fe County and Rio Arriba County, the Abeta case involving the Taos County water issues. Those were important cases to get settled. We also, of course, have been able to pass legislation to settle the dispute between the Navajo and the state of New Mexico and private water users in the San Juan Basin. And the Navajo-Gallup pipeline project is now partially funded and on its way to construction. So there's a lot that we were able to accomplish in this Congress. I think that none of it was accomplished easily, but it's been a productive Congress, and I'm proud of what we were able to do. Again, thanks for watching our podcast. We appreciate your continued interest in our activities here. Thanks.